What's up, buddy?
Hola! So I want to start this off by saying how excited I am for the new table, like this new setup that we have.
Yes, we have a whole brand new setup.
You guys never...
And it's getting more and more cluttered by the second.
It is. Nobody ever got to really see the old setup. It was just like this old computer desk that we used.
Was it really even... Is that...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is a
it's
computer desk.
computer desk.
Now that I think about it.
It was super tiny, but now we have a bigger table and chairs that are here all the
And now
time.
it just looks like furniture for your cat litter box.
That's exactly what it is right now. She's got her own little shit house.
Yes, a nice little office table, and it's curved like a boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Super excited for it.
Fantastic. No, I'm excited for it.
It's one of the small upgrades up to the next upgrade.
That's right. Oh, green by the second.
Yep.
Dude, there's a lot going on right now.
There's a lot.
I was actually very surprised when I went researching throughout the week at how much had actually been going on. Yeah. It was pretty great. It makes my work a lot easier.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got about 11 topics on the day.
Well, actually 12 technically, if you want to talk about the Breakpoint beta.
Oh, wow. No, you're right. Yes, I did get to play the Breakpoint beta.
What'd you think of it?
It was a beta, so the graphics sucked.
See, I didn't have any graphic issues.
I had them Mass Effect Andromeda graphics where like they were all cross-eyed looking in two different directions.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe it was just my TV. They just weren't very realistic to me.
I mean, like as far as the game,
the customization was on point.
That's really cool because that's what I was gonna say. It's almost like a transmog system. So basically, you can have the stats that you want, but not necessarily have to look the way that equipment looks. So you can have a set way that your character appears, but with the stats of.
Like I feel like I'm gonna have to take one whole day just to familiarize myself with the way the menu is set up and where everything is at inside the menu and how to get to what I need. The customization on how fast your joystick moves from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, like all that's customizable. It's
intense. There's probably 6 or 7 pages of menu.
Yeah.
It's insane. What scares me about this game though is, okay, I want to start off with this. The story is acted out a lot better than Wildlands was, right? A lot more cinematic, but it almost still feels a little repetitive. And I'm kind of worried that this might just be a Wildlands 2.0.
I could see that.
Because I mean, technically, it's still the same characters.
No.
There's just different gameplay elements that are introduced to it. So, as far as healing and
more lifelike.
Stamina, like drinking water, eating, or whatever. So I'm just a little cautious about it, but it was fun. I definitely enjoyed the beta.
It was fun. I'm definitely gonna get it because I've gotten all the Tom Clancy games. I don't think I'm gonna get it on release day. I'll probably get it 2-3 weeks later. Let me kind of play Shadowkeep for a little while, and once I play that for a little while, and then I get to like a medium ground where pretty much everything's kosher, I'll be good to go.
I mean, I can only lose so much sleep.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because with, Last of Us 2 coming out and
so much on your Death Stranding.
Oh my gosh, like all this Shadowkeep and Death Stranding and Last of Us. Like I'm full, man. I'm full.
Yeah.
No, I beat Borderlands 1.
Oh, did you?
Beat Borderlands 1.
Nice.
Yes, I have to go through and play all the DLC now. Now I can finally start all that and start Borderlands 2 and be good to go.
Right, well,
but outside of the Breakpoint and Borderlands, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I haven't even picked up. I don't think I've picked up Destiny in 2 weeks.
No, it's almost like a chore for me,
Well,
I'm not a chore. It's like
because you don't want to do chores, or you hate having to do chores.
Yeah, well, it's more okay. So it's more like just do it.
Well, I had to take a break from it so I didn't burn myself out on it, so that I would be ready and wanting to play when Shadowkeep came out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are kind of coming in now. They're starting to come back, just kind of building up their character a little more, or saving up bounties or materials, just so they can have enough for when Shadowkeep does drop, that they can do whatever they got to do to advance or whatever. And then some of them are just trying to experience stuff for the first time that they haven't, just because they're back now. Like a couple of our friends, Evan and Alex, are actually finally back. And another buddy of mine, Brandon, he's finally doing Destiny 2. He's been running through all the campaign stuff. So he did vanilla Destiny 2, and then he did Curse of Osiris and Warmind and Forsaken
And who was this?
Brandon.
Okay.
I don't know if you played with him. Did you play with him?
No.
And what was after that?
After Warmind?
No, Forsaken, and then the Gambit stuff, or Season of the Drifter, and Black Armory, and all that stuff. So he's just like all the story missions. He's been knocking all that crap out. Just kind of getting caught up story wise. So that's been fun to kind of like revisit some of that stuff. So
are you going to be able to not play for 24 hours?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just catch up on something on
I'm
Netflix
sure you got
or
something.
Or Borderlands. I need to play that because I haven't played Borderlands in a couple days, so it'll be good to get back on that grind, I guess. Knock that out for a couple hours on Monday, and then go to sleep and wake up ready for Shadowkeep.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
I just saw that apparently it's going to be shut down for 24 hours on Monday.
Yep, 24-hour maintenance. Goes down, reset on Monday, and goes back online at the release of Shadowkeep. So
nice.
Full 24-hour window. I think resets at what, 12 or 1?
1.
1. That's right.
Well, not too bad. You ready to jump into it?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Of course, hopefully everybody knows Last of Us Part 2 got a release date from State of the Play. I loved the trailer. I thought it was amazing. It looked fantastic. But with the trailer came a little bit of controversy. The Last of Us Part 2 will not include a multiplayer mode. From Luke Plunkett. Sorry. For all of its single-player focused plot, The Last of Us also shipped with a multiplayer mode. Its upcoming sequel and will not. Developer Naughty Dog announced that the news with a short statement yesterday, while suggesting that whatever had been cooking for the game's multiplayer will release at a later date, just not part of The Last of Us Part 2. From a statement made, we wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2. As we've stated, the single-player campaign is far and away the most ambitious project Naughty Dog has ever undertaken. Likewise, as the development began in the evolution of our factions mode, The Last of Us Part 1, the vision of the team grew beyond an additional mode that could include with our enormous single-player campaign. Wanting to support both visions, we made a difficult choice that The Last of Us Part 2 would not include an online mode. However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition. That sounds so dirty. But not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be realized is still to be determined. But rest assured, we are as big as a fan of the franchise as the rest of us community are, and excited to share more when it's ready. And of course, that was a statement from Naughty Dog. You know what? That's fine. I'd be happy if every single-player focused game shipped without a tracked-on multiplayer experience. Plus, whatever is being teased later down the line, a spin-off, The Last of Us, or The Last of Them, might end up being a lot more interesting if it's given space to breathe instead of being regulated to a secondary spot on the original game's main menu. Did you play the multiplayer mode for Last of Us 1?
I played it like once or twice.
So, for everybody that did play it a lot, what would happen 9 times out of 10 was you would always end up being 2 against 1. No matter how many times you played, it would always be 2 against 1 at the very end of it. So I would play with my buddy Jared. What we would do is it was always us 2 against the last guy, and stealth was a really, really big part of that game. So what I would always do is I would always play a decoy. We could never find out where this person was at. It wasn't timed. So I would run out into the middle of the map. He would stay back, and he would find out where I got shot and fired from. And I would let that person kill me, and then he would kind of break around behind him and get to him and use me as a decoy. And it worked so many times. It was such a big hit. I'm glad, I don't see a big issue. It's okay. I mean, I think the story is going to be such a big hit to begin with. Let the story have space to breathe and do its thing. Because it's from what I read up on Naughty Dog, it's supposed to be their longest campaign to date from Naughty Dog.
Oh, great.
Yes.
3 weeks. Single player campaign. No, that's fine. You made the comment a couple days ago where it's like that it's not a part to you. The multiplayer isn't a part of the game, really. Like, because it's more of a story base, right? So.
I just meant that for Uncharted.
Oh, it's just Uncharted. So Last of Us is different. Okay.
Last of Us had a really, really nice.
Their multiplayer was
mode.
Decent. Yeah,
it was. It was really, really cool.
But I'm on the same page as you, man. Like, I let it blossom. Let
the story blossom. It's been how many years?
It's 4 or 5.
Because no, it couldn't have been because it was on the PS3.
Oh.
Because if you remember when the PS4 got released, it got
remastered
with the remastered Last of Us 1. So it's been longer than that.
Jeez, man. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been, but hey, apparently it was worth the wait because it's the longest campaign they've ever made. The graphics look fantastic.
The graphics do look fantastic.
It looks almost just like a movie, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, it did. And did you get to watch the trailer?
Yeah,
you did. I want fucking Joel coming out behind. I'm not gonna let you do this alone.
Thank God let you do that alone.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. I love anything Naughty Dog puts their dick in. I don't care.
The funniest part is like that trailer. The trailer opens up and it's not even like Last of Us. Like you can't even tell it's gonna be Last of Us because it's like it just starts out with like grown up Ellie and the girl's like, "How would you rate our kiss?" or whatever. I was like, what the fuck is Naughty Dog making? Some sort of dating simulator.
Well, did you? I mean, we can talk about that Colonel Sanders dating simulator if you want.
We don't have to.
Did you see the last trailer that they released? The one where they did kiss and what she was actually talking about.
I think I missed that one.
Okay. That was the one, if I'm not mistaken, was at E3 a couple of years ago. Yeah, they were at a party, and they were dancing, and they kissed, and I believe somebody got kidnapped, and you got to actually see like how gruesome it was. I was actually super, super happy with it. I've been waiting so long for this game, and I have made it a point. We'll just go to a point. I made it a point to myself that I'm going to beat the first one so that my mind is refreshed and ready when it comes out.
Yeah, kind of get a feel for where the story left off.
Yes, because I mean, I honestly, I remember the beginning and I remember parts in the middle, but I do not remember the ending at all. I mean, it's so bad because I know I've beaten that game 2 or 3 times.
Didn't Joel like drive a truck because she got shot or something was wrong with her stomach? She got hurt somehow, and he put her in the back of a truck or SUV, and then was driving down the road, and that was like where the cutoff was. I forget how it led up to that point, but I'm pretty sure that's how it ended.
Was it really? See, I really don't remember. I gotta go back and play it now.
Oh, I'm a Naughty Dog fanboy. Can't remember how a game ends.
You know how many years it's been since I've beaten that game? I can't.
You should have played.
Nah, I can tell you how Uncharted ended. You want to hear how Uncharted ended?
Yeah.
His daughter found all of this.
Yeah.
And he was telling us, and she asked, she's like, okay, where's all this stuff from? Why do you have all this stuff? What is all this? And he sits there and he's telling her the flat out truth, running from zombies and witches and, magic and all this shit. And she's just like, yeah, bullshit. Yeah. He's like, all right, cool. You don't want to believe me.
Try telling you. And then no more Uncharted ever.
What do you think sparked the change of not wanting to release it? Is it just...
they're probably just polishing it. No. I mean, if they're saying that it's going to be at a later date, I mean, I really don't think there's any ulterior motive other than just wanting to be ready.
But does that affect the review process? Do you think you would have gotten 2 separate review, I guess, ratings?
Like you're saying, like there might be like 2 different reviews for the game because of.
So if the game released with a multiplayer,
right,
would we have gotten 1 rating as if it were maybe released without?
I guess it really depends on how close they're shipping that. If we're talking the original one, I don't know. I'm lost now.
So, I think it'll be about 3 or 4 months before the.
I'm so confused at how this release window is happening with the.
I see it coming out in February and then multiplayer coming out in the summer. That's how I see it happening.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good time.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Next up on it, Matthew Olson from US Gamer. Death Stranding is officially done and has gone gold, so it's time to gather up the social strands and party. Kojima Productions has officially finished development on whatever sort of game Death Stranding turns out to be.
I'm really just excited to find out what it is.
Today, Hideo Kojima took to Twitter to show off a disc with the approved Gold Master build of the game and celebrated with the Kojima production team and friends at Killzone and Horizon Zero Dawn developers Guerrilla, makers of the cinema engine, the powers of Death Stranding. In his tweets announcing the milestone, Kojima thanks the publisher Sony, Guerrilla, the cast, musicians, artists, and staffs that contributed to Death Stranding's development, as well as the studio's fans. Death Stranding will be the first release from Kojima's new studio, formed after the Metal Gear creator left Konami and the original Konami Productions in late 2015. Next will be up from Hideo Kojima's tweet. Got the Gold Master approval. It's been 3 years, 9 months since the studio's inception. Able to mark the first step as the new Kojima Productions, thanks to Sony, Guerrilla cast members, musicians, artists, and staffs, and fans supporting us from the start for all the way through. Herman Hulse, co-founder, managing director at Guerrilla, joined in on the celebrations. Kojima announced that partnership with Guerrilla to use the studio's proprietary cinema engine for Death Stranding at the 2016 PlayStation Experience, first used on Guerrilla's Killzone Shadowfall, a launch title for the PS4. The engine was later used by Guerrilla at Horizon Zero Dawn and by Guerrilla's sister studio in Cambridge on Riggs. Mechanized Combat League Supermassive Games also used Guerrilla's engine in 2015's Until Dawn and the PlayStation VR spin-off Until Dawn Rush of Blood. While we've seen a lot more of Death Stranding in recent months as its release draws even closer, a lot of footage of the game has only raised more questions. Kojima says Death Stranding exists in a new genre of Strand games. What's represented by Souls-esque online element puts items and traces left by other players in the game world. That said, Death Stranding is also a game with lots of walking and a peeing mechanic. And babies in pods that are just equipment, according to the character.
I can't even make it through this whole story. I'm sorry.
If there's a straightforward explanation of what Strand games are, Kojima and the company are letting players discover it themselves. If you didn't know, Death Stranding will launch for the PlayStation 4 on November 8th, 2019. If you want to catch up with everything we've learned about for the game so far, check out our Death Stranding guide at US Gamer.
So basically, Kojima doesn't even know what the game is. It's just a new genre. I just made it up. In a 3.5 year time span that this studio has been open, we've developed a game that we don't know what it is. Let's make them pee.
While making this game, we put a lot into it that we did in our regular everyday lives.
Every time I pee, there's a number. I don't know what it is,
but maybe that's maybe that's what the fun behind it all is not knowing. It's mysterious. It's kind of like when you get a sucker, or they're doing it with Oreos now.
Oh, the mystery flavors?
Mystery flavor. Maybe this is what this is. It's a mystery flavor.
But it can't be a mystery flavor to the fucking developer.
That's why it's a new genre.
Okay. That's what happens when you I don't know, just spend no time making a video game.
So, first question.
Yeah.
Are you going to play it?
God, no, I'll wait till that game goes on sale, or next year when it's on PS for free, or the PlayStation Store for free. All right. I will not pay a lot of money for this game. No.
So let's do this.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna beat it, and then I'm gonna rave about how amazing it is. I'm not gonna be able to tell you anything about it. I'm just gonna tell you that it's fucking amazing. Dude, and then I'm gonna bring it over here.
It took me 15 minutes to beat the boss, and I just pissed on him the whole time.
And then I'm gonna bring it over here, and then I want you to beat it. Okay, if you're not gonna buy it,
you got to get me to play it first.
Damn, Jeff, I don't know what happened to your Destiny game. I don't know why it's missing.
Why is your account wiped? What happened? Did you watch the gameplay of it like a week or two ago, where it's he sneaks into a base or something like that, and then just like his backpack had stuff on it, and then he just pegged it, like hit a dude in the face with some cargo, and then stole a truck and drove off
With the baby?
Yeah, the baby was in a pod. And,
Okay.
and then there's like this little cutscene where he's like, "Oh, you're all whatever." Like he's talking to the baby, the baby's crying or some shit. What?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, honestly, I have not watched. I watched one trailer, and that was the first trailer that, like, not the first trailer, but like one of the really good, decent trailers that they released. And that's all I watched. I want it to be a mystery, aside from the peeing and the breastfeeding. When I turn this game on.
Okay. Well,
So if you don't know where I'm at for a couple of weeks, I'm not on Destiny. You know why?
it's because you paid the full $60 price point for Piss Simulator.
That's
Okay.
right.
Is that so? I've been really.
You know that's used as a weapon, right? Okay. Just
Are there skill abilities that you can unlock where it pisses harder or more or less hydrated?
Did you have a question?
No.
No? Okay. Hey, Death Stranding's done. It'll be out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
It's gold, like it's pee.
PlayStation is cutting out the middleman. Sony opens up its own online store for console games and more. This is from Vincent Larania, I guess. Yeah, let's go with that. Sorry, dude. From Tech Times. It's official. Sony now has its own online store with physical goods such as PlayStation 4 games and accessories. Thanks to this, fans cut the middleman out of the equation, sort of, and directly buy stuff from the company itself. PlayStation sets up shop. So basically this goes without saying, but it's not a revamped version of the PlayStation Store or anything, something along those lines. Sony explains that it's integrated with PlayStation.com and it contains product pages for hardware, games, and such. In a blog post, the company outlines what fans can expect from the new storefront, which will only have a couple of titles to start things off. And that it'll only carry 12 games for now. Astrobot Rescue Mission, Blood and Truth, Bloodborne, Days Gone, God of War 3 Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, Marvel Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition, MLB The Show 19, Quantic Dream Collection, Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us Remastered, and of course you got to save the best for last, Uncharted 4 Thief's End.
Okay. I mean, that's neat. It said hardware too. So are they doing they're doing consoles and controllers and wires and all that good stuff?
Speaking of MLB The Show 19 and The Last of Us Remastered, the two make up PlayStation Plus's free games for October. Other items on the website include the Platinum Wireless headset, DualShock controllers, and the PlayStation VR headset, among other things. To celebrate the new shop, Sony is also offering two console bundles, a PS4 with 12 months PlayStation Plus subscription for $339.99, which is a $20 savings, and a PS4 Pro with a 12-month PlayStation Plus subscription for $429.99, which is a $30 savings. In addition, PlayStation Plus members get to enjoy free one-day shipping to boot. Sony's new store is open only to the United States, and based on its blog post wording, it's being touched as a more convenient way to give us gifts. They are really trying to fuck up GameStop, aren't they?
I was about to say that, and I guess that answered my question if they were going to sell consoles or not. Yeah. I feel bad for GameStop, man. Like, they are doing everything to just shut that place down. It's the next Blockbuster, man. It's about to go.
And it really is, and it sucks because I don't want it to be, because I enjoy going to GameStop because there's a lot of stuff that, that instant gratification that you can get by going there. Amazon and Best Buy, they started doing the deals where you could get the games at, $10 off or $5 off or whatever the case may have been. If you bought through them, they started doing 9 o'clock releases as to where, GameStop was doing midnight releases, and, Sony's opened up its own, online store and stuff now. So yeah, it kind of sucks, I
mean, GameStop's always been a staple, I guess,
Yeah.
like as far as me growing up and getting into video games, because you just go in there and browse, and kind of see what was out there, and it's not even about the games at GameStop. Like there's a lot of really cool collectibles and stuff like that you can only get at GameStop, or Or I mean, technically the most, I guess, accessible place other than the internet, but you can go in there and buy a Assassin's Creed figurine or a Pokemon,
a Funko Pop
card
of some
something.
sort.
Yeah, and you can just go in there and buy it.
Power Ranger coasters,
Yeah, and that's what's always been kind of cool about it. But stop dragging them along. Like they're just pulling them through the mud at this point. So just shut it down. I don't know.
We've gotten to a point in our lives now where so many things are consumed digitally, which I think you buy your games digitally, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When was the last time you bought a physical?
3 years ago.
Wow, really?
Yeah, when I bought the PlayStation I have now, it came with. So technically, I didn't go and buy the game.
So technically, no, that just came with it.
And
see, now they don't even do that anymore. They give you codes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is cheaper for them. But no, see, and that's one of the big areas where me and you differ is I buy all my stuff physically. I'll check it out. And I mean, I was on PlayStation.com and I didn't realize that that's actually what they had done. I thought they had just revamped their webpage.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's actually pretty cool. I like it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's there. It's easy to navigate. I probably won't ever buy anything from it, to be honest with you. But it's there. It's cool.
It's a lot easier just to go to a store and buy a PlayStation or whatever.
No, I mean, especially, someone in my case where I work, at a brick and mortar.
Right.
But living in a world where everything's consumed so much more digitally now, it's, these brick and mortar places are now having to do everything in their power that they can to stay afloat.
Right. Well, and this is kind of where I can play devil's advocate because I understand the consumer's point of view on this, as well as the developer or whatever you want to say, the manufacturer. All right, so look at it this way: you're still paying full price for the game, whether you buy it digitally or actually you're saving $5 by buying it digitally as opposed to going into a store and buying it because you're not paying sales tax, right?
Well, that depends. Depends on the game.
Oh, I got you. Well, okay, so but these are depending on what edition you get. Let's just say you buy base game, $59.99. Right. That's all I'll ever pay. Now, if I go into a store, and depending on where I go or what game it is, let's say Cyberpunk.
Okay.
When that comes out, I'll buy that for $59.99 on the PlayStation Store, right? Or whatever. Let's call it baseline. So $59.99 edition on the store. If I go into Best Buy, or if I go into Walmart, or GameStop, or Target, I'm going to pay $65 roughly.
Right.
Because of sales tax. So, and the consumer would rather do that because it's the same fucking thing anyway because you have to download the game from the disc. So essentially, it's the same thing.
No, I completely get it.
So why, unless you're wanting, like you do, like you enjoy having the hard copies of stuff, like why clutter up your entertainment center or whatever if you don't want it to be, when you just download it digitally.
No, I mean, I definitely understand it from other people's points of views where, let's say you have a picky wife or girlfriend that doesn't want the games cluttering up her, entertainment center that she's trying to decorate and have all nice looking. Or if you have a 3 or 4 year old that likes to touch and grab everything and put it in their mouths and this, that, and the other. So I completely understand that.
But at the same time, like, there's a lot of, money and time and dedication that goes into the box art
and it's cheaper for studios. Like, I completely get that.
But at the same, at the end of the day, it's just, to me, it's easier just to buy a $100 5 terabyte hard drive, external, and then just load everything up to that.
How much longer do you give them, GameStop?
I don't know, man. Probably.
Do you see them going out of business within the next 5 years?
It's possible. It's really going to depend on what turn the new consoles take. Because the new Xbox is all digital, right?
So the Xbox One S came out with an all digital edition, which basically had a $50 cheaper price tag and came without an optical drive. So that was just for guys or girls who do not want to buy or don't care to buy physical copies. Which, I mean, I actually thought, believe it or not, because I was so hesitant about it, because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, in this console lifespan, we've had the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S all digital edition. So that was like 4 consoles right there in this lifespan. So I was very hesitant about it. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more it made sense. If you're an Xbox gamer who doesn't like to buy games, this is perfect for you. Like, fuck yeah, go for it.
Right. Do you think PlayStation is going to piggyback off that with the 5?
No, not at all.
You think they're going to stay with the disc drive?
See, and that's the thing. Like Sony, I've always thought, and I could be wrong, but I like to think that, being a fanboy of theirs for so long, that I kind of know how they think in a little bit kind of way. They seem to me like the type of company, if it's not broken, why fix it? Look at their controller. Their controllers have stayed the same.
Yeah, I mean, just little subtle variations.
Subtle things that may make somebody's hands grip it a little bit more and this, that, and the other.
It's more like the ergonomics of it, but not necessarily the complete overhaul of the controller.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's ever really physically changed were the consoles. On basically how they look, the color, the presentation.
And it was like one extreme to the other, too.
Right. I saw this funny-ass meme the other day where it showed pictures of all the PlayStation controllers, and it says, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And then the next line below it was all Xbox controllers. And the caption read, change is good. And then the one below that was every single Nintendo controller we've ever had. And the caption wrote, I like cocaine.
It's true, though. There's been so many different Nintendo controllers, man.
There have
so many.
But I also do believe that I don't think that Sony will always utilize what they have. I wish the touchpad had been utilized a little bit more.
It's so not, though. Like, they made it a huge thing when that first came out. They're like, oh, man.
They made it a huge thing of talking about it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, but no developers ever really utilized that touchpad the way it should be, except for, like, the Playroom. When the camera came out.
With the bots and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But like games just like, hit trackpad to go to your map.
Or no, and I don't use this personally, but when you're typing into the PlayStation, you can use that as like a magic mouse pad if you ever use one of those.
Yeah, like a swipe to text kind of thing.
Right, and that little circle, and I mean, I hate using it. I just use the D-pad to do what I need.
It's quicker.
Right. Bethesda cannot catch a break. A GameStop representative reached out to TechSpot. Apparently, over 20,000 Fallout 76 helmets recalled for mold exposure or not. From David Matthews at TechSpot, GameStop claims only 32 units, not thousands, of the recalled helmets were sold and shipped to consumers. All the affected consumers have been identified and notified directly about the recall, offering a refund. No other models, editions, or colors of the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition helmets, gunmetal, or gray color finishes, are involved in this recall. The photo below shows the recalled red-colored helmet manufactured by Chronicle LLC and sold as an individual collectible item at GameStop.com in June 2019. The original story follows below. Exclusive Fallout 76 Power Armor helmets sold by GameStop are being recalled due to a high risk of mold exposure. This is yet another controversy surrounding Fallout 76, made worse by the fact that it is a health hazard. Bethesda hasn't had much luck when it comes to collectibles recently, but this may be the worst. First reported by DualShockers, wearable power armor helmets that were sold exclusively by GameStop are being recalled by the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission due to increased risk of mold exposure. Per the official recall website, mold can be present on the fabric inside the helmet, posing a risk of respiratory failure. Infections in other individuals with compromised immune system, damaged lungs, or allergy to mold. Ding, ding, ding. Fun fact, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm allergic to 3 things. I'm allergic to mayonnaise, fire ants, and mold mildew.
Oh, wow.
Well,
put you in a bubble.
Yeah. Customers who bought the helmet should contact GameStop immediately in order to receive a refund. GameStop itself is also reaching to customers directly to inform them of the recall. While there haven't been any reported health incidents, there are over 20,000 of the helmets in the wild. This is especially concerning for parents, as children could be very sensitive to mold allergies and other respiratory issues that come from mold exposure. Yes, kids are way more prone to getting a lot more sick when it comes to mold. Adults, on the other hand, as long as I'm not in the room sleeping there overnight, I will be perfectly fine. I'm gonna get a runny nose. I ain't gonna be able to breathe. But
what is creating the mold inside the helmets though? Did you hit on that? Is that in the article? Did I miss it?
no, it wasn't in the article.
So is it just some nasty ass people that just put these helmets on and go run around like play acting or something, and then like the sweat they just don't clean it out and they just
Well, so mold is caused by moisture in the air getting into fabric or wood, anything that the moisture can stick onto.
right.
And then germs and all that other good shit.
But those helmets aren't shipping wet, right? Or are they?
No, it's got to be from moisture in the air, from the humidity, or people running around with it on, getting sweat from their forehead and stuff, and it's sitting there and it
Right.
causing mold. That's what I could only guess.
Because this is more of a collector's item, right? It's like
Yes.
this is a bookshelf display.
Mm-hmm. That you can actually wear.
Yeah, no, I mean I get
Yeah.
it, but I'm saying like I would just leave it on the shelf. I wouldn't even give it a chance to have mold in it.
No. And I mean, I would have done the same thing. I probably would have put it on once to take a picture and say, "Oh, look at this, is cool," and then I would have put it back on the shelf somewhere and
Right.
left it alone.
Exactly.
That sucks for Bethesda. I guess I don't really. I'm sorry. Do better.
They are getting hit hard on
They are.
a lot of stuff. Like 76 is just a huge disappointment. I don't know where it's at now. I've completely lost touch with everything on that.
Fallout was never a big game for me. I never really
Fallout
cared.
3 was amazing.
I
So
played
good.
Fallout 4, and then I was like, oh, this is cool. It's just not my type of game.
Did I tell you why I stopped playing Fallout 4?
No.
Okay, so I got to this point where I had my save point was where I had no health and I was in a radiation zone and I had no rataways.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally was alive for 5 minutes before I died, and I couldn't make it. And I was in the middle of the woods. It's like I
So your radius around you couldn't. There's nowhere you could do anything.
nope. I was just in a kill zone, man, and I was too far along to want to start over. I said, "Fuck it," just deleted it.
I'll read the spoilers online.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But that on top of the canvas bag issue, I don't know. Hopefully they're learning from this for their next game and collector's issue or editions of stuff. Like hopefully they're just picking up. You know what I
no,
mean?
you're 100% right, and that's a big thing that I'm on is I'm always ready for what's next, or I'm always ready to see what's going to happen next. And that's the thing, like they have had so much problem with the canvas, the nylon bags, to now the helmets, to now the game sucked. I heard it's getting better. Not really sure.
We don't care.
I really don't. I'm not trying to be mean, but if it's your game, you're like, hey, go for it. You might not like Uncharted. It's okay to be wrong, but better for the environment and getting away from mold. Sony has committed to making the next PlayStation more green. In a note from the PlayStation blog, Sony Interactive and Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan commented on the UN's Playing for the Planet Alliance. The UN Environment Committee initiative intends to partner with the video game industry to help make it more sustainable. Ryan promised that the next generation PlayStation console will be able to suspend gameplay with a lower power consumption. 1 million PS5 users enabling the feature could save enough electricity to power about 1,000 homes. He said the company will also be conducting a carbon footprint assessment for its gaming services and looking into energy-efficient measures as data centers. Sony will also be working with a variety of messaging initiatives, starting with making sure to inform consumers on energy-saving features in their consoles. It will be providing references info for developers who want to make games that revolve around sustainability. Finally, it's looking into PSVR applications that could help raise awareness about climate issues. The company also boasts that it's already been revising its production to become more energy efficient. Revisions to PlayStation 4 have already saved an estimated 16 million metric tons of carbon emissions. Sony estimates that the total will rise to 29 million metric tons over the next 10 years, which for comparison is equivalent to the entire nation of Denmark in 2017. That's cool. Hell yeah. I think it's pretty ironic, and I don't say ironic in a bad way. It's ironic in a good way. It's ironic that, of course, it comes now at a time where climate change has been getting, a lot more news and publicity, which is a good thing. But it's cool. Like 1,000 homes, like that's pretty neat.
It's a crazy time we're living in.
Yeah.
When they're worried about the carbon footprint that a video game console leaves. Whatever. I mean, cool. It's cool. Anything that
Every little bit helps, right?
Every little bit does help. So anything that we can do to strive towards a better tomorrow, I'm all about it. So go Sony.
Guess what?
What's up, buddy?
Spider-Man's back.
Woohoo! Woohoo! I was waiting on that. Actually, kind of came out of nowhere because that. Oh, sorry. I'm just excited.
Sony and Marvel strike a new deal to keep the Spider-Man in the MCU. From James Whitbrook at Gizmodo.com. After the shocking news that Marvel and Sony's backroom deal to share the rights to one of the most popular superheroes in the world broke up last month, it seems that the tumultuous saga is already over. The two studios have announced a new deal to co-produce a third entry in the Spider-Man Homecoming series. According to reports, as part of the deal, Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Feige. Kevin Feige will produce the film alongside Sony's Amy Pascal, which has currently been given a July 16th, 2021 release date. The deal will also allow Tom Holland's iteration of Peter Parker to appear in future films. In both Sony's fledgling Spider-Verse of potential movies in the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe, here's the full statement from Feige via Deadline. I am thrilled that Spidey's journey in the MCU will continue, and I and all of us at Marvel Studios are very excited that we get to keep working on it. Spider-Man is a powerful icon and a hero whose story crosses all ages and audience around the globe. He also happens to be the only superhero with a superpower to cross cinematic universes. So as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises the future might hold. The prior deal between the studios saw Disney take approximately 5% of the box office earnings for both films in the Homecoming reboot series, directed by John Watts, with the new claims alleging that this revived deal will now see the mega corporation take approximately 25%. The announcement comes after what has been a tumultuous month back and forth regarding Spider-Man's future of The Wake Far From Home, which became the highest grossing release in Spider-Man's history in the past summer. Initially, the deal between the two studios, which has seen Feige and the Marvel Studios co-produce Far From Home and its predecessor Homecoming, while also allowing Spider-Man to appear in Marvel Studio-made films Captain America Civil War, The Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, over Feige's role in producing Spider-Man movies. Shortly after the news broke, Sony released a statement. Feige's lack of time to work on the IP, Disney, do not own. And it was recently reported that Feige's duties in the Disney would now grow beyond his stewardship of Marvel Studios to also include producing a new Star Wars film with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy.
Nice.
It's like a bad breakup, man. You know, they just needed some time apart. Okay, they needed their own space to just breathe, figure out who they are as a person. You know, just like any romance needs.
Right. Just
and
a
that's
little
all
separation.
It was, you know.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
You know, Sony needed some time to just realize that, you know, they were wrong.
I knew this was going to happen.
We all did.
Or at least I was hoping.
We live in a time now where enough bitching and complaining will change a lot of things.
Right. But there's two things that Sony does. One's really well and one is horribly. Really well is making PlayStation games and the consoles and controllers and headsets, right? The one thing they do really bad is make Spider-Man movies. And at the end of the day, you got to look out for what the consumer wants, what the fan base wants, and what's best for the character itself, you know?
Right.
And this is the best iteration we've had of Spider-Man yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's smart to make the best decision to help further this, because this is going to do nothing but make both these companies money. You know, Disney's already got enough of it, and you can't disconnect him from the storyline like that either. Like, you just can't. It's.
You were so scared.
Man, I was mad about that, dude. I was so mad. But our boy's back.
He is back, but unfortunately, he's also getting a new director for the 6th time.
Is it a new director? I thought they were still talking about The one from Homecoming and Far From Home. I forget his name. Oh.
I was leading into the
Oh. I thought we were talking about another Tom Holland thing.
No, I was trying to make a really cool entranceway there.
Oh man.
Tom Holland's Uncharted movie gets a new director from GameSpot via Steve Watts. The Uncharted movie from Sony Pictures has a new director again. Deadline reports that Travis Knight, the director of Bumblebee and Kubo and the Two Strings, will now helm the film. This follows news that the movie's most recent director, Dan Trachtenberg, would be now leaving the project again, calling into question whether it will ever actually be made. Trachtenberg departed the movie last month, citing creativeness differences. He followed a long line of director changes, including Sean Levy from Night at the Museum, Seth Gordon from King Kong, Neil Berger from Limitless, and David O. Russell from Silver Linings Playbook. A number of screenwriter and script changes have occurred as well. The movie will star Tom Holland, Spiderman Far From Home as young Nathan Drake. This is the second piece of major news surrounding Holland to break in the quick succession as earlier today as Sony and Disney announced that the third Spider-Man movie will be co-produced after Holland will also appear in additional MC films outside of this upcoming third standalone entry, which is slated for 2021. The long and sometimes tumultuous development hasn't prevented Sony Pictures from putting a date on the project. Uncharted is slated for December 18th of 2020. Of course, that could always be delayed depending on a variety of factors, including the possibility that Knight has a new vision for the movie. All right, so I'm going to go back over this for a second. Number one, as much as I love Tom Holland and as much as I love Uncharted, he's not the right fit for this movie. That's number one. Number two, I think Seth Gordon would have been the guy to make this movie, direct this movie. Number three, that's a year. You have a year to put this movie.
Yeah, and that's actually less than that, because you got to think that there's probably going to be a month or two of just plain marketing, and them doing their publicity tours and stuff like that. So
this movie's not coming out in December. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, and then like post production and scoring, all that stuff. That's all got to happen too. So, but shit, I don't know, man. It might happen. It's I kind of agree with you with the whole Tom Holland not being the right fit, but also too, it depends on what direction they're taking the story. Like, is it,
if it's a young Nathan Drake as what we saw in Uncharted 4, then yes, I'm cool. I'm down with it. But I do not want this turned into some romance comedy Indiana Jones, because that's not what it is. And you're going to fuck my game up.
I mean, it's a dude Tomb Raider. Yeah.
Do we need to have you go back and play the games over again?
No.
Okay.
One and done, my friend. One and done with those.
That's what she said. All right.
Wait, who's Seth Gordon?
Seth Gordon, he directed King Kong.
The Skull Island one? Yeah, I can see that.
Well, you had Seth Gordon for King Kong, Sean Levy for Night at the Museum, Neil Berger for Limitless, David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook. David O. Russell, Silver Linings Playbook is a romance comedy. Neil Berger's Limitless, no. Sean Levy's Night at the Museum.
Right, but see, the thing is, no. you can't let one director's work dictate what he's going to do on the next movie. Because look at the Russo brothers. They did Arrested Development, Community, and those were like sitcoms, right? And then they turned into make the world's largest grossing movie ever, and it was a comic book movie.
I think at this point I'm just bitching because I really don't want this movie to happen.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's better as a video game.
There's part of me that gets happy every time I bring this article in from the first podcast that I've done till now, to where we're still talking about directors not being directing this movie.
And this is episode 7 or 6.
6.
And we're still talking about it.
Yeah, we're still talking about it. And hopefully, if things keep on, we'll keep talking about it, because I don't want it to come out.
You should direct it.
No, because I'm going to plagiarize the shit off that. All right, y'all go home and play this game and memorize how all this jumping and shit was done, because it's exactly how the movie's going to go. We're going to take these cutscenes and turn them into real life.
Nice.
We're going to do. But hey, in more awesome news, Mike Fahey. It sounds German.
Fahey.
It's Fahey.
Fahey?
Fahey? Yeah, that sounds better.
Sure.
A truck carrying gaming dice spills onto highway, rolls a perfect 756,000. On Friday, the 13th, a truck bound for the Georgia-based tabletop and video game company Trivium Studios took a turn too sharply, spilling 216,000 gaming dice onto the Interstate 75 in Atlanta in what could be the biggest unintentional dice rollover ever. According to Trivium Studios community manager and speaking to Kotaku about the incident, the truck was carrying 3 pallets of Chezik 6-sided gaming dice for use in unannounced tabletop games. Approximately half of the truck's load wound up strewn across the busy highway on the Friday afternoon. Atlanta Hero Highway Emergency Response Operation units helped Trivium employees clean up the mess using brooms, shovels to salvage what they could. While losing a substantial amount of pricey dice isn't great, Trivium representative says the company, which plans to unveil the game associated with all of those dice closer to its planned early 2020 launch, maintains a positive attitude. Though unfortunate it happened, nobody got hurt, and we are now on an unofficial world record for the largest dice rollover in history. Considering the average roll of 2 6-sided dice is around 7 and approximately 216,000 dice were rolled, Trivium estimates the roll totaled 756,000. Even the truck was undamaged and having made its saving throw. That's cool.
756,000 for resistance.
That's right.
You took no damage.
So next time you're going home to Georgia, why don't you stop by and see if you can find me some dice?
That's a little bit further over than the way I go, but
is it really?
I might make the trip. Did it say what were the cities it was between? Because if it's somewhere close, like I might cruise by.
It just says Interstate 75 in Atlanta.
Could be anywhere. Maybe somebody else will find it and sell it on eBay, and then I'll just get that one.
Yeah, that's just okay. Well, I mean that's cool. That sucks.
It's cool. That sucks.
I mean, they had a good attitude about it, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like how they calculated what the roll would be.
Mathematicians up there.
Crazy.
Guess what?
Talk to me.
You can now control your Xbox One with Google Assistant. From Mike Epstein at lifehacker.com, there are now even more ways for you to navigate your Xbox One without using a controller. Microsoft announced that it's launched a skill on Google Assistant that allows you to control basic navigation and system-level commands on your console using the Google Assistant apps on iOS and Android. It sounds like something nobody needs, but don't knock it till you try it. It turns out that moving through your Xbox One hands-free is actually quite helpful. Doing everything from, I'm not going to say it, but hey, so whoever, turn on your Xbox, turn off Xbox, play blank game on Xbox, volume up, volume down, mute, unmute, pause, play, next, previous, screenshot, record that, reboot, stop on, switch to. If you, the only thing to note is that if you change the name of your device in Google Assistant, you will need to say your Xbox's name instead of just Xbox. These are universal commands for the media playback on Xbox apps like the Blu-ray player and YouTube. So yeah, if you want to go and read the rest of the article, it actually shows you how to set it up. So that's the how. My question is why?
Why? So it's just like it's Siri or whatever Android had before, Alexa or whatever, right? No, Cortana. That's all that is, and it's just on Xbox now.
No, I don't need it.
I thought you were saying no to my. I was like, no, it sounds exactly like that.
No. Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. You're 110% right. I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't even have an Xbox.
I got One X, and I'm good. I don't.
You don't. No, you need the Google Assistant.
I have Google all around my house, and I have an Xbox. I don't need them to correlate. I don't need them to make coitus. It's okay.
Your house is just gonna. Your FBI guy's gonna know wherever you're at all the time.
I love my AIs. They do so much for me. Mainly turn my lights on and off.
Hey Google, touch me there. Do that thing I like.
I think honestly, to be honest with you, one of my favorite things that my Google has ever done was when I first gotten it. I had asked Google to do something for me while I was cooking. I think it set a timer or tell me a recipe for about something. And I like muddled under my breath. I was like, thank you. You are very welcome. Well, that's pretty cool. All right.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go throw my phone in the fucking pool now.
Well, whatever.
That's scary, man.
You're not ready for AI assistants all around the house, robots cleaning up?
No, I'm terrified of technology. And this is a little off topic, but I want to talk about these because these are two stories that I read.
Okay.
Well, one was a story, and then one was like a very offhand comment made during an interview.
Okay.
I don't know how many people caught it. All right, so basically now the company Boston Dynamics, the ones that make all the AI robots and everything, now they're actually selling the dog to preferred, like, first-time customers, right? Like pre-selected ones.
Right.
That's terrifying because they're free thinking to an extent.
But that's no different than the AI sex dolls that they're selling.
Yeah, but these are terrifying because they're like,
If you're under 18, I need you to turn this off.
they're made of metal, like they're solid, like metal and components, and it's just fuck that. No. Also, on another one, I was watching a Hot Ones interview with Ashton Kutcher.
I like that show.
He had Ashton Kutcher on, right? And Ashton Kutcher is so much more than Dude, Where's My Car or Kelso from That 70s Show. Like, this man is a tech investor.
Yeah.
Smart dude. As a matter of fact, he's one of the first people to invest in Twitter when it was coming out. Well, so I think he was on wing 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly. He made the comment that he has an app in his phone that has facial recognition technology that he can hold it up to someone's face and it can tell him exactly what they're connected to as far as like internet stuff. Facial recognition technology. It can tell him everything about a person. No, I don't.
That was already out there. We already know this.
No, I'm saying like, I know, but it's an app that a startup in Silicon Valley is making. That's gonna be like a downloadable app.
Well, that was like the free app or whatever that app was that would allow you to take somebody's picture and it would basically X-ray through their clothes.
Oh yeah, but no, this is different because this is background information. This is stuff that you're connected to, bank accounts, credit cards. You know, what was the last thing you smacked your pud to? You know, don't think too hard now. But that.
I'm married, so I don't really have to do that anymore.
Yeah, fair. But no, that just scares the shit out of me. That we have technology that can do that, or at least we've probably all had it for a while, and it's just now talked about or whatever. But
I don't know. I guess it doesn't really bother me because I don't ever put myself in a position to need to be scanned or looked up or any of that good stuff.
Right. No, I get it. But I mean, saying like, when somebody's like, "Hey, can I have a picture with you?" Like, at the con, people are like, "Oh, let me take a picture with you," or whatever. Could be a thing.
Well, okay. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, like that one random person that was like, "Oh."
That little girl, little 12, 13-year-old girl.
She dressed up as what's her name from Bob's Burgers?
I don't know. I've never watched it.
Lisa, I think, or whatever. Anyway, not important. But yeah. Anyway, that's.
Well, speaking of AI and all of that good stuff, Respawn is reviving Medal of Honor as an Oculus VR exclusive. Respawn and Oculus announced that they were working on a AAA VR game together 2 years ago. Shortly after that announcement, EA bought Respawn, announced during today's keynote, kicking off an Oculus Connect conference. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is set in World War II. A demo will be playable on the Oculus Connect show floor this week. This is from Chris Kohler at Kotaku. Lending the development of Above and Beyond is a figure from Medal of Honor's past, Peter Hirschman, the producer and writer of the original 1999 game, which was done in collaboration with Steven Spielberg's DreamWorks Interactive. In fact, Hirschman said during a presentation at the preview event held last week in San Francisco, He was in the room when it happened in November of 1997 when Spielberg pitched the original Medal of Honor team on the idea of teaching people about World War II through the medium of an interactive game. It's not just a personal department that Above and Beyond reaches back to Medal of Honor's past. Like the original Spielberg collaborations, there's a heavy educational element to this release. Respawn has conducted new interviews with many World War II veterans, the youngest of whom was 93 years old at the time of filming. You can access these interviews in the game's gallery section. They even went as far as to partner with the organization's Honor Flight, which flies veterans to memorials in Washington, D.C., to bring some of the veterans back to Europe to revisit the exact places they fought in for the first time. The 360-degree VR videos of some of these locations let you get up and close and personal with them, as well as Respawn is also scanning some archival footage from the Library of Congress into 4K for the first time ever. While Above and Beyond will have a full suite of multiplayer modes, Respawn isn't talking about that at Connect. It's showing off a single-player campaign which will be about 10 to 12 hours long and spread about over 50 different layers. Players who want to explore every inch of the levels, find all the hidden details and secrets, can see their playtime double. Playing a first-person Nazi shooting game is frankly terrifying. There's a big difference between the tutorial area, a firing range where you get to play with guns and try sniping at enemies from a distance, and the first demo level where you dropped into a tiny room into the back of the kitchen at Gestapo headquarters. You're meant to start walking around finding Nazis to off, and a definite feeling of, oh crap, I don't even want to talk through the first door or walk through the first door. What if there's a Nazi over there? That's cool. What you think?
I mean, I'm pretty much, I like VR stuff.
10 to 12 hours, though?
It's not a lot, but it's more than most.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though. Like, if you think about VR and VR games altogether, like, especially story campaign titles, like, it's pretty long. Like, I mean, Batman's what, but, you know, you
Like
beat that
2
game
hours?
in like 2 hours?
Hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool like premise, you know, and a set like cool setting. So I mean, we'll just have to see how it plays out. I mean, Respawn's a pretty decent company, so shouldn't have any problems. So
I mean, I wish I could say I would try it. I may get an Oculus. I mean, I'm leaning more towards the no. Just because I just don't ever have the time. But, I mean, it seems like a cool idea, especially if you have one of those.
yeah,
Like,
I would wait to get
why not?
the Oculus that's wireless.
Yes.
That's the one I would wait for. It might actually be out.
No, it's out.
Yeah.
You have the Oculus Rift and the Oculus Quest.
Quest
Now,
is the wireless one. Yeah.
Modern Warfare game option is PS4 exclusive until October 2020. From Luke Plunkett at Kotaku, the practice of platform holders securing consoles exclusives took a new and weird turn yesterday when Sony and Activision announced that Modern Warfare Survival Mode, a mode within a mode as it's part of a Spec Ops, is appearing exclusively on the PS4 until October 1st, 2020. Spec Ops, the first introduced into the original Modern Warfare 2, is a series of short scripted missions that can either be played solo or co-op. They've been missing from the last few Call of Duty games, so their return has been seen as a welcome move by the longtime series fans. That excitement from PC and Xbox users will be a little tempered by yesterday's announcement, though while the core Spec Ops experience will appear on the platform Survival Mode, basically a horde mode for Call of Duty available as an option within the Spec Ops won't be turning up outside the PS4 until 2020. Which conveniently is right around the time the next Call of Duty game will be due. This isn't the first time Sony has secured exclusivity deals for Call of Duty content, but those that have previously been for a matter of days took lock something down for almost an entire year. The game is due out October 25th and is a little more drastic. You can see the exclusive announced twice in the video below, once at the beginning in small print and again near the end. Sucks to be an Xbox player.
Yeah, and I don't understand why people are getting so mad about that now, because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. There's Destiny, for example, in D1, Hawkmoon was a PlayStation exclusive, right? For a year. There was another one. I forget. So many guns I can't remember. But there's always been, console exclusive things.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why are you mad now?
That's in the name of having a console war. That's just the way things play out. I'm sorry that unfortunately it didn't work out for your console.
The consumer is an innocent bystander.
Right. I mean, choose a different console. I mean, I don't.
You can get a PlayStation for pretty cheap nowadays.
$299.
Shit. You can get a used one for like $130.
Right. Exactly. There you go. Bam.
I hope GameStop out.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that sucks. You're gonna have exclusivity deals. That's just the way the game world works. Sucks for you. I'm super duper sorry. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan, so I'm not a Call of Duty fanboy over here. I'm probably not even gonna play it. That's just not my thing.
I actually might give this one a little.
That one?
Because the trailer looks solid.
The trailer did look solid. But was that a campaign or was that the little short snippets?
That's the
campaign. If that's the campaign, I probably will play it later on when, like I said, when it goes on sale.
Yeah, I'm not buying it launch day.
I'm not buying it for $60, but I mean,
I'll buy that game when that and Death Stranding are for free on the PlayStation Store. That's when I'll play it.
You're not gonna have a month where you get those two at the same time. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
February 2022, Death Stranding.
Yep.
And Call of Duty.
And then we'll do a whole podcast about it. What'd you think of Death Stranding?
2 years later.
Yeah, I mean, like it's Call of Duty, man.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's
Modern Warfare was awesome, and it's gonna be cool that it's like gonna look better and play a little bit differently. But
we're not running on walls and jumping out of spaceships.
Yeah.
No.
So just be cool, man. Like just good luck. Maybe better luck next year.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta talk to Activision about that. They suck.
Well, I think that about wraps it up.
Next week we'll have a Shadowkeep recap, kind of where we're at and what we think.
Yeah, next week we got to record too.
Oh, okay. I'm down.
Because next week is going to be pretty much like we did last week. It's going to be one of stories and one of post Shadowkeep.
Okay, cool deal. I'm into it.
Shadowkeep releases 2 days.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Day
after tomorrow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So another super special episode.
Yeah.
So.
You know what I've been thinking? Like, how should we end this? So I figured, why not? Every time we end it, I'll have like an inspirational quote. Okay.
Okay.
I think this is good.
Okay.
Right, so I got one.
Okay. You got it saved?
I got one saved. Okay.
All right. Let me prepare myself for this.
Okay. Are you ready? You're gonna like it though. It's gonna be pretty good. All right.
Okay.
Because we can't always end on food because we're not always going to eat.
No.
Okay. I found it. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is M3 Gaming's inspirational quote of the week. Be the reason she no longer needs batteries.
Nice.
There you go. See?
That's going on a t-shirt.
Pretty good. See, thank you. I think so too. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's going on a t-shirt for sure.
So yes, hopefully we'll have this uploaded. Most likely this is going to be going up Tuesday.
Perfect.
This will be going up Tuesday.
Give me something to listen to while I play Destiny.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, really? Are you sure you're not going to be like in a party with Joker?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, a bunch of us are taking Tuesday off. Like Evan and I both took the day off for Shadowkeep. So I know you're not taking yours off until next week.
No, I actually have a whole week's worth of vacation I'm taking off.
Right.
Not this coming week.
But you get off
week.
early on Tuesday, right?
I get off at I think like 4 o'clock, but I don't get to game until about 8 because I got to take Michelle to work and do all that stuff.
Oh, you got to do family things.
But for you that don't know, if you'd like to stick around, right behind this will be an uploaded video of none other than the One Chip Challenge.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where I get to die.
This might be a solo podcast after today.
Oh, this sucks. But yes, if you want to be able to stick around and watch that, you can find this on all of your podcast services.
I was thinking maybe instead of like it is a one chip challenge, but I think we might up the ante a little bit.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm listening.
Well, no, I was just thinking like
How do you up the ante?
I don't know, just like a little punishment. So first to grab the milk gets punished somehow. We'll see.
I ain't trying to get punished. I'm gonna go like 5 minutes and then I'm gonna drink my milk.
We'll figure something out.
Like I said, that'll be In3 Gaming. You can find on all of your podcast services, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, something called Radio Box, which apparently got verified the other day, so that's pretty cool.
Check mark, baby.
Yeah, check mark. So have a good day.